Hey, what's up? This one's gonna be short and quick. I'm sure you guys are getting tired of seeing the blue car, but the whole point of the blue car is to keep developing things and figuring out on my car, right? It's a very common thing that people develop on customers' cars. Just today and yesterday, I've had a call from an acquaintance, similar stuff to what we do, and having some issues in developing on customers' cars. Anyways, so you know these cars are factory port injection and direct injection. So what that is, you have a direct injection system that feeds at a high pressure. Then you have port injection, which is low pressure. The Huracan R8 Gen 2s all have both. The factory fuel system on gas, we ran out of power about around 1,000, and that's just like literally maxing everything out. So as we know, cost of race fuel is about $11 a gallon. Like, it's expensive. And why it gets expensive is like, you know, you think you can hold yourself back from like, oh, you know, I just run race gas, you know, when I'm gonna go out. Fact of the matter is, once you fill one of these things on race gas, you don't want to go back to pump gas. So as we all know, ethanol flex fuel is a thing of, you know, in modern time, everybody's getting to enjoy. This car was a little tricky, so we developed our own flex fuel kit, which consists of an additional fuel system, 2 extra fuel pumps external out of the fuel tank, and then we split the DI system from the port injection and changed the port injectors to ID 1700s. So now we have plenty of fuel. And the cool thing to that is that, you know, you don't ever have to worry about content levels. I mean, just to kind of give you an example, when the last video when we tuned it and the thing was making a lot of power, I probably had like 2 gallons of 91 octane in it, and then I topped it off with 10 gallons of MS 109. That slight diluting, I hope that's the right word, of mixture was just enough to get the tune that I had, that was pure MS 109, to not work as well. So it started knocking, put me in lit mode and all that. It just became a headache. Like, on the dyno, it's a perfect scenario. It's a perfect road scenario. Dynos are always perfect road scenarios. But once you drive them and you load them on the road, totally different. The load of the chassis caused it to even, you know, make a little bit more power. It caused it to knock. It was unhappy. So I've had enough. So I spent the time, the team and I spent the time, developed our flex fuel kit. This way, the ECU will always compensate for the ethanol content. And on top of that, the car, now that we're not out of fuel system, we can actually turn it up even more, and then keep the torque down and make even more power on $3 a gallon ethanol. Downfall, as we all know, ethanol consumes 30% more fuel. So my gas mileage kind of sucks. I drive this car every day. I think I drive 35 miles to work, another 35 miles home, and then after all my stops, I probably drive 80 miles a day. It's expensive. Just go back to driving the Civic every day. Anyways, so we got it running good over the weekend on ethanol. Runs great, makes good power. However, we hit some little things that we weren't happy with on the factory DI system, so we turned the power back down. Tony did his thing, and now we have it back on the dyno to see if it's going to work, and then if it works, we're going to turn the power up. Right now at 10 pounds of boost is making the same as what it made at 13 pounds of boost on race fuel. I'm quite happy about that. Actually, I think it's a little more, because my 60 to 130 was 0.2 faster than what it was before. Last night I ran it and it went 0.2 faster than whenever it did on race gas. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. So we'll kind of go over everything to show you what we're doing. That was a 10 pound boost hit, making the same power as it did before on race gas. So now I sent the log over to Tony and see if the fuel system, the DI system's doing what it should be doing. If he's happy with it, then we're going to keep turning it up. I'm not trying to essentially make a lot more power than what it made on race gas. I mean, if I can pick up another, because we're out of fuel, about 11 and a half, 12 pounds of boost on the street. We go 14 pounds of boost, 15 to keep the torque low. That'd be cool. Truth is, like, that we have to understand is it's still a stock engine, and the trick to the stock engine is keep the rods happy. How you keep the rods happy is keeping the torque low. How you keep the torque low is timing in the mid-range. Like, essentially, while everybody else, you know, on a built engine, you literally just let the boost hit. What we'll do is, instead of letting the boost kind of just spool on its own, right, wherever it comes in, like on this car, they come in about 4,000 RPM. We'll taper the boost in. So it sees full load on boost past peak torque, so that rod stays happy. And that is where you have to take your time on cars like this. Like when you see these stock engine cars making all this power, it's possible. It's just how they ramp the boost in after peak torque and they keep the timing control. And moral of the story is they'll still make a lot of torque and it makes a shit ton of horsepower up top. So my goal is to go 200 mile an hour at shift sector in a couple weeks, stock engine. I think it's possible. I know like Gosha Turbotech in Russia went 199 stock engine, so I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope that there's crosswinds pushing the back of the car and we click a 200. So we'll try. I just texted Tony I'd hug him if he was here. Anyways, so just kind of give you guys an idea of the shit that goes into this shit. I'm shaking, I'm a little happy. We're on version 60. Literally, if you look at my calibration, it's V60. That means there's been 60 different reversions, 60 different revised maps, settings, calibrations, driving conditions. I mean, everything that you could think of, blips, everything. And after 60 versions, literally 60, I could say our package is 100% done for stock engine, stock drivetrain with the Motec package, flex fuel components, and a clutch upgrade. I'm going to show you guys. I normally don't show this. One thing you guys must take in mind if you do some Google research, Mustang dynos are the lowest reading dynos. This car made a lot of power. First and foremost, let's just thank the main people, Motec, Tony Palati, One Race, for finding time out of his day to develop this with us. It's pretty dope. Anyways, you guys ready to see this? First, let me send Tony this log. This motherfucker gets it. So I'm gonna show you guys something. I'm gonna show you. So where we left off the last video talking about when we were tuning the car, we were on race gas. So we're gonna discuss the pros and the cons to flex fuel, which is ethanol-based fuels versus gas, which I think I kind of already went over them, how it consumes more fuel, all that stuff. But I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna compare where we finished now with ethanol versus our pump gas map, our race gas map. So just take a look here. As you can see, all the way to 5,000 RPM, it's about the same thing. Above 5,000, the solid lines is where we are now in ethanol. So remember, this is pump ethanol that you get for $2.50 at the pump. While the dotted line here is MS109, which is about $14 a gallon. So, which I stock it there, as you can see it. It's $100 a pail, okay? You could go through those 5 gallons. We all know how fast you go through 5 gallons. Imagine if you want to go out with your boys on a Friday night, Saturday night, you're gonna go through 4 of those pails in a weekend, right? So at $100, that's $400. Moshi, our friend client Moshi, spends about $400 a weekend on race gas. So if you drive your car every weekend, we're 4 times 4, $1,600 in fuel a month, right? Our ethanol kit, our flex fuel kit is an additional $8,000. Now that may sound steep, That $8,000 provides additional fuel pumps, removing the factory intake manifold, adding the injector dynamic injectors, and it gives you flex fuel control, meaning if you want to jump in the car and drive it to cross country and you pump whatever gas you pump, the ECU is always going to compensate for it, right? So, dotted line is race fuel. From race fuel to ethanol, we gained an additional 80 foot-pounds of torque, okay, in the mid-range. Now that we're making more boost, we're kind of going to kill the torque. Now, why we kill the torque is timing. So, we left the timing low in the mid-range so the rods stay happy. So where the benefit comes of running more boost, less timing, less torque, more boost is more horsepower. A horsepower gain, we gain 200 more horsepower than where we were with race fuel. So, I'm gonna show you something now. My dyno, it's a Mustang dyno. It reads very low. So, there it is. That's what my car makes on a Mustang dyno. On E85, on pump E85. The next test that I'm gonna enjoy it. The next test I'm gonna do is Ignite. I've been talking to the gentleman over at Ignite Fuels that make phenomenal ethanol blends. They were nice enough to send us a 55-gallon pail of their Ignite Red, which is an ethanol in E85 on steroids. We'll call it on steroids because everybody loves steroids, right? I mean, people that go to the gym. So, gonna enjoy this bitch the way she is. 1,130 wheel horsepower on our dyno. That's no math equations. It should make this bullshit. This is what it makes on our dyno. So if anybody that knows what these dynos read, there you go. So that kind of wraps up this video. It's a short video. It's not our videos that we normally make right when we travel, but we kind of just, you know, since we got back from Florida, have had a lot of little things going on. We figured this would be informative, kind of teach you guys. So what did we learn from it? We learned that we can make more power on ethanol, clearly. You can still make a lot of power with gas. The problem is that since I upgraded the fuel system, I might as well take advantage of running $3 a gallon fuel. Now here's the cons to ethanol. Ethanol does corrode factory lines. If the injector is not a proper injector, like if you run, this is what I was preaching about the last video, how injector dynamics is such an important injector. They have specific injectors depending on the fuel you're gonna run. You should still flush your system. Like I'll probably run a couple tanks through it of ethanol. Then if I get low, I'll put like 3 gallons of 91 and drive through it just to kind of clean the fuel system out. I don't have to because the Injector Dynamic 1700 injector is a metal. The insides are metal. That's all I know. All I know is it's for ethanol, and we're not gonna swell the injector. We're not gonna clog the injector. We're not gonna damage the injector, which therefore could lead to, mechanical damages. Second con to this entire situation is the gas mileage. Went to crap. Third con, it cost $8,000. 8 grand, pros and cons. 8 grand to somebody that has something that they don't have to worry about all the time, and makes phenomenal power. I guess you be the judge. When we build the cars, we kind of give you the option. We tell you the pros and the cons, and we let you decide. At the end of the day, we all have different goals. You get the guy that say, hey, I just want pump gas 91. I'm happy with that. Cool. This isn't for you. Clearly, we are horsepower junkies, and we want all the power we can get. I think we're done though. This is a stock engine, a stock transmission. I kind of don't want to put any holes in the block. So we're gonna leave this the way it is. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. One more thing. People thought I was joking when I talked about it being for sale. It's legitimately for sale. Everything's for sale. I really love the car, but I want a 2020 R8 and I want to order it this color. I've had my fun with it, but it's rear-wheel drive. I mean, it's a great car, but it's for sale. There you go. $230,000. I'm throwing the ethanol package in for free because I already said $230 on the last video. I'll still keep it at $230.